They used to say the three T's,
Yep.
which are what? Tone, taste, and Tony Rice.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, a little bit of Salt Creek here. I am joined by Hayes Griffin, the one, the only Hayes Griffin. I won't hear you until I get these on, but let's keep it casual here, okay?
What's up, buddy?
What are we trying to do? Hey, we're just here to talk about. Flatpicking guitar, bluegrass guitar, everything, acoustic guitar, and have a good time doing it. Hayes, is it cold there?
Oh, I mean, look at me. Look at me, dude. Winter, like, people are worried because winter came to Ohio this early this year. You know what I mean? We're talking like 4 inches of snow on the ground, like sub-zero temperatures type of winter. So
It was -9 here 2 days ago, and it's going to be 47 tomorrow.
yeah, dude.
All right. So we're thinking of some things to talk about in terms of learning bluegrass guitar. Both of us teach bluegrass guitar. We got links in the description you can follow if you're interested in learning more from either one of us. But one thing we want to talk about is what are some challenges that flat pickers kind of face at every level, at the beginning level, at the intermediate level, and even at the advanced level. What are the different challenges that pickers face? So Hayes, I'm going to throw the ball to you here. What is a good challenge that every beginner kind of has to overcome?
Yeah, the first one that came to my mind was just dealing with alternate picking and the rules of like putting the pick in the right direction at the right time. I feel like that seems like a almost like Fibonacci sequence like type of code to crack or something like that for a lot of beginners that I work with. But what do you think? Yeah.
I think so too, and then there are tons of good alternate picking rules, and a lot of people think alternate picking just means you alternate your pick, but it really means is that you're keeping the beat with your hand, and so there's sometimes it comes naturally for folks, and sometimes it's something people have to fight through. I do think it's worth fighting through. I always say like this is what I would go out on a limb and say 99% of bluegrass guitar players do. Now
Yeah.
it's tough when you say, well, who's the 1%? And then you go, well, the 1% is pretty good because the 1% is Tony Rice and his brother.
Yeah, the 1% is the guy that we've been trying to emulate forever.
But his technique doesn't work for most people, that we've seen. So almost every good bluegrass guitar teacher teaches alternate picking, and that's Brian Sutton and Tyler Grant and Sierra Hull and Hayes Griffin and Marcel and me and everybody out there. Aaron Jackson is doing it, and everybody's teaching it like that. Now, I think it's the right way to go.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think, like you said, the connection to the beat is the most important part. So if you're trying to get rooted in the time, that's a good way to do it.
So if you're not doing it, start. Today's your day to start. Okay. An intermediate challenge, I guess. I was thinking about all the things that go into playing with other people. At some point, now some people do, if you have a family member or something that plays, starts out playing with other people, and usually then they start out playing the chords. A lot of people that learn on their own start out by learning the lead parts. And so now when you go play with other people, what becomes important is the rhythm. And then being able to switch between the song and the rhythm parts. So you might know how to do Salt Creek. You might be able to play that song, and you might even know the chords to Salt Creek. But could you move seamlessly from the lead into the rhythm and back into the lead again, and that has to be practiced. What do you think about a skill for intermediates that needs to be learned?
Yeah, I mean, you are onto such gold with what you just said there, the skills with learning to play with other people. Um, and I think this is kind of like part of it, or related to it. I mean, intermediate players, there are so many directions you can go, because once you're able to boom chuck, once you're able to play your first couple of leads and get in there with the gang, right, and
Yeah.
hang a little bit, um, I think a lot of people get lost in just either focusing on one thing, or not practicing enough, or practicing the right things, because there is, I feel like, an incubation period that happens right after you kind of make that transition from a beginner to an intermediate, where if you put some effort into it and really focus on the right things, like the cross picking and some of your common vocabulary, kickoffs and endings, these bits and pieces, you know what I mean, you can really like hit that exponential curve and then be the player at the jam that you want to be. But getting that consistency in your practice is something that I see a lot of people struggling with. What do you think?
That sounds right to me, and like especially in terms of like the way a lot of us learn nowadays is through YouTube. Myself included, I go out and find, whether it's a jazz thing or something I don't know, which there's plenty about how to play guitar. And so we have all the information we need. And a lot of times we just need to go practice one thing. And so we were joking, we were saying, and we'll say it too, click the link in the description to learn more. And the better thing might be to say, find that circle button on your keyboard, press and hold until the computer powers off, and then go practice guitar. And of course, we're not going to say that out loud or put that on the internet, but there it is.
It's so true, though, man. Any good teacher would tell you that, right? It's like
It
the
is
video
true.
or the pick or the strings aren't going to solve the problem. It's at the practice room that is,
And you take that one idea, like our friend Stash, who I've
Yeah.
never met. Our friend Stash has all these beautiful videos, these quick tips and stuff, and he can put a new one out every week, and I can do the same, and you can do the same, and it might take you a year to do one of those.
Yes.
To really study that all the way out, and so live with what you're learning for maybe longer than you think. Okay, advanced. What might an advanced player, and what is an advanced player in your mind, Hayes? What's an advanced player? You
Yeah.
are.
Advanced, a lot of people have a lot of different definitions for that, don't they? I guess to me, advanced is someone who has studied the language of the music so much that they can pick up new songs almost instantaneously on the fly, or just plug in, I mean, you know what I mean, where they
Yeah.
need to. So like you and I, we've ingested enough material, I think, at this point in our lives to where we can go to a pretty standard bluegrass jam, and even if we don't know the tune, halfway through the first verse, we're going to be like, oh, it's that chord formula, and we're locked in, you know what I mean? And
Yeah, and a lot of times that's not because an advanced player is, um, a savant or a genius or something like that, but because they've heard that chord progression in another song that's similar,
exactly.
and can pick up on that. Just the longer you play, the more experience. Maybe an experienced musician is a better word than
Yeah.
advanced. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
the apprenticeship system. Like you're a journeyman at some point in time, right? And then you're just on the path, right?
and then you're on the path.
Yeah.
And I think things like musicality come in more into play.
Hmm.
Things that are more subtle. I had a friend years ago who would tell me all about kung fu. He was really into kung fu, and he would tell
Cool.
me all about kung fu and what kung fu masters were like. And I was like, okay, isn't it kind of interesting? Well, what's it like when two kung fu masters fight? And he's also a guitar player, and he's like, well, it's probably more subtle. Like it's not like jumping and kicking and all this. They're probably like grabbing each other and trying to get each other off balance. He's like, it'd be like a really what a you might appreciate as a guitar player is somehow somebody subtly handled a chord change. That's not the most outlandish thing. It's not just like the fancy stuff,
Yes.
which
It,
seems really fancy, but it's pretty simple thing to learn. Or
No,
whatever.
dude, it's literally
But
the fact that
subtly
Tony
handle
Rice
chord change.
uses that G7 instead of that G7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's that type of
Subtle.
stuff, right? You know?
It's something subtle. Yeah. Or things that become important are dynamics, musicality,
Yeah.
tone. You know, they used to say the 3 T's,
Yep.
which are what? Tone, taste, and Tony Rice.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, hey, if it's Tony Rice, you know it's going to be good timing anyway. So who needs to say
It's
timing?
gonna be
You know,
good timing.
Yeah.
Timing. That's what it was. That's what I was looking for. Well, good. Hayes, I would love to hear you pick one.
Oh man,
Play me a song.
what are we going to play here?
Love that, man. What's that called?
I've heard some people call it Liza Jane, but I think it might be Liza Jane with like another word in front of it or something, because it's different than like Little Liza Jane and all the other ones that we know. But it's some kind of Liza Jane.
Some kind of Liza Jane. And I'm sure there was more than one. Hayes, thank you for hanging out today.
It's been great.
Been good. Check us out. Links in the descriptions or the power button on your computer. Either way, you're good to go. And we'll see you next time. Thanks
Take it
a lot.
easy.